My name is Andy, and this is the most magical podcast on earth. When I'm not on holiday at Walt Disney World, I'm planning a holiday to Disney. And when I'm not planning a holiday to Disney, I'm talking about Disney with other UK fans like me who make the trip to Orlando and the House of the Mouse. So whether you're a parks professional or a Florida first-timer, this is the podcast for you. Each episode, I'll be chatting to other Disney superfans to share memories of their magical times, answering your Walt Disney World questions, getting you all the latest news from the parks, and finding out what's happening right now in Orlando. So get your ears on as we take you to the most magical place on earth. This is the most magical podcast on earth, part of the Secret Recordings Network with brand new episodes every other week, every other Friday, fortnightly. New guests, all the latest news from Walt Disney World. So however you're listening, whether it's Apple or Spotify or whatever, or YouTube, of course, you can follow us, you can like us, make you subscribe. So every time there's a new episode, it'll just pop up there. Follow us on the socials as well, at PodMagical. Thank you very much, by the way, for your comments about our last episode with AJ from Disney Food Blog. I was so excited to speak to AJ. I don't know AJ, but I know her voice and I've been following her tips and everything for years. And I never realised I didn't actually know anything about AJ until I spoke to her on the podcast a couple of weeks ago. So finding out about her story, about how she's been going to Disney World for 40 years, how she racked up thousands of pounds worth of debt going to the parks and finding out her favourite things. It was a really good listen and it sounds like you enjoyed it as well. So thank you for your comments. If you didn't hear AJ's episode, then just go back. It was the last one. We got Mark on this episode of the podcast. Now, Mark is a little bit afraid of heights, but wanted to go to Topolino's Terrace. Did he make it? We will speak to Mark very soon. Latest news from the parks. We've got more about the Food and Wine Festival, more about Halloween to tell you about, and some questions as well. Now, Paul has sent me a message. He did send this a few weeks ago, so apologies I didn't get round to answering this, Paul. We're going to Walt Disney World on the 16th of August. Now, as you're listening to this episode, if it's the date comes out, then that's tomorrow. They just want to know, Paul and his family want to know about the Halloween party because they're going to be going. Will they feel left out if they don't wear costumes? Well, I can tell you, I can answer this really simple. No. I'd say the nearer you get to Halloween, I think more people do dress up. But I think because it's so hot, a lot of people don't. You might be happy if you can get a Halloween T-shirt or maybe something light to wear if you can find a costume. I saw Rhino from the Diz. He went as Zac Efron from High School Musical. That's good because that's like shorts and a vest. Very clever. So if you can find something like that is kind of like a cooler costume. I don't mean cool as in, hey man, I mean like, I know you're not going to sweat because it's still very, very, very hot over there, like 80, 90 degrees at night. So you won't feel left out if you don't dress up, but maybe put something Halloweenish on, like a Halloween T-shirt. Have a great time. I hope that answered your question. Any questions you have, at PodMagical on all the socials, drop me a message. It's Mark who joins me on the podcast for this episode. However, we have had one of Mark's family members on the podcast way back at the beginning. Your wife Louise was on with us, wasn't she, Mark?
Hi, Andy. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, I think a couple of years ago now. But I always wanted to come on myself just because our kind of Disney stories are quite different in terms of first visits and how it all started really.
Well, we'll dig deep on this episode then, shall we? You have recently got back. Was it beginning of June you got back? So you've been this summer?
That's correct. Yes. Yeah. So just recently got back. First time there for 8 years and first time with our children as well. So
right.
The different experience.
Yeah. Oh, we've got a lot to talk about. So tell me then the first time you went to Walt Disney World, what was different about it?
So I'd always wanted to go when I was younger. Whilst Louise went, I think when she was maybe 9 was the first time. I never went as a child. We never had like holidays abroad, just in the UK. And I had some of my best friends that had been a couple of times in the 90s, and you'd see their photos and they'd show you videos, and I was so jealous, and just something I'd always wanted to do. And I finally got my first chance, funny enough, when I was 21, with an ex-partner. Her family were going over. They'd actually been 2 years before and done all the Disney stuff. So they were actually mainly doing Universal, Busch Gardens and kind of SeaWorld. But they were going with another family as well that had never been to Disney. So we did 1 day.
1 day at Disney.
Yeah, which was Magic Kingdom. But just to experience Main Street and see the castle for the first time was
you did the big one.
A fantastic thing. So that was only my kind of first experience then. Then after that point, a couple of times I was with some friends in Orlando. I was like, on the way to doing other stuff. And we did a few odd days. Again, they were massive Disney people. So it was with Louise back in 2015 that I did my first time of all the parks. And because she'd worked there and knew it so well, it was the proper introduction to it. We then went again in 2017, and that was it then for Disney World until this year.
All right. And let's just to recap, because Louise worked in the UK pavilion, didn't she? She worked in the pub.
Yes, she had 3 stints. She worked there, she worked on Tower, and she worked in Citricos restaurant in the Grand Floridian as well.
So, from those visits, how had it changed this time round?
A lot had changed. Even to the point of me thinking that my favourite rides in kind of all 4 parks were going to be potentially different to what they were previously. And that's just
so what actually were they? Before this visit, what were your favourite rides? So, like, going back 8 years, was it? What were the big rides then?
So, in Animal Kingdom, it would have been Everest.
Yeah, hopefully that's still the same.
In
or maybe not.
It would have been Coaster in Hollywood Studios.
Yeah, Aerosmith still going, just about.
Soarin' in Epcot.
Yeah.
And then Magic Kingdom's a difficult one, actually, because there's a mixture. There wasn't like a real, I just enjoyed that as general, but there wasn't like a real standout one there, for example, that I was like.
Was Seven Dwarfs open then?
Yes, yeah.
That would have been, that would be the big A attraction,
I guess, yeah. So that I think that had just opened. It was fairly new.
Yeah. So as we're on to the subject, what's your favourite ride now?
Well, you've got Flight of Passage, just.
So that now pips Everest for you?
Yeah, just. Yeah. In Hollywood Studios, Rise to Resistance. I mean, wow. I mean, I'm a big Star Wars fan, and I stayed spoiler free. So I mean, I had some shocks. So I won't
you
go
stayed
into it,
spoiler free for what? How many years has that been open now? 5, 6?
I'm funny about spoilers and stuff.
I don't blame you. I'm trying to stay away from the new Starlight nighttime parade.
Okay. So I got some. Well, yeah, I mean, that was more of an experience than a ride. I mean, that's just, it was like you're just being put into a film. Absolutely amazing. My mouth was open for quite a bit because we actually did that. We went in on like a late night event where it was just myself, my wife, and my father-in-law, and we hadn't at that point been into Star Wars Land on that trip, so that was quite an experience. We did it kind of twice because the queues were quite low because of the event that was going on. So probably that there, and Magic Kingdom, Tron, and then Epcot. Guardians of the Galaxy in Epcot,
it's got to be,
which was amazing. Yeah, so that was probably the ride I was most looking forward to because of all the hype I kind of heard about it. But I had a feeling that my favourites were all going to change. But also a mention to Mickey and Minnie's Runaway. I mean, that was what a great family ride with all the things that happened with that as well. I thought that was fantastic.
Because that would have been a great movie ride last time you were there in that building.
Yes, that's right, yeah.
If you had to pick one ride from all those, one ultimate favourite ride now at Disney World, what would you pick out of those?
Rise of the Resistance, just.
You go because of the Star Wars fan?
Yeah. Yes, it kind of, I guess, maybe means a little bit more than, say, if you weren't, because of the little, just the little details and things. But Guardians, a very close second.
Okay. And as a Star Wars fan, did you get to walk around Star Wars launch bay for the last time? Because obviously we know now that that's going to be going come September.
I just heard about that. Yes, we did. Yeah, met a couple of the characters as well. My kids are 6 and 4, so my boy Finley wasn't keen on anything too fast. So some of the things he was, and also meeting particular characters, like he didn't want to meet Darth Vader, but he did enjoy meeting BB-8. That was cool actually, how he moved and stuff in there.
So what was it like then going with kids for the first time? Obviously you've been a few times, just you and your wife and with other people, but like going as a dad for the first time, how was that experience for you?
Yeah, completely different. We've done Paris the last 2 years with them, so we've kind of dipped our toes into it. But I think our we were there overall for 3 weeks, so had 2 weeks just in kind of on Disney and staying on site for the first time.
Yeah.
So we knew our expectations were, sky high in terms of what we might do. We knew the kids might get tired quite easy, might need kind of naps and breaks, and also the weather was pretty hot, especially when we got there. It was a bit of a heat wave. But I mean, they did fantastic in terms of what we got done. Because of the way if we had like a reservation for food, it meant we had a break and aircon, so it was all just gapped out quite well. And because we had the time there, we were able to do everything we kind of wanted to do. And there was rides that I don't think I did previously. Some of the smaller ones, which were also kind of new to me. So it was nice. It was just seeing their faces. I mean, we did a lot of character dining as part of our we had the dining plan. So their faces when they met the characters, and they loved the Figment ride. It was a massive one for the Mickey and Minnie's. They're still singing the songs now back at home. My son wants me to check the wait times daily. It's normally an evening thing before we go to bed. I mean, I could technically tell you what wait time is for a ride now because I know all the averages so much.
Yeah. You should start your own touring plans company. Then we know.
Yeah, I think so.
Call on you, Mark.
But no, it was it was a great experience because you're sharing that kind of love then with kind of your children who also have kind of found their own kind of love within it as well. So
it's like a first time visit, isn't it? It's like there's your first time of going to Disney World, and then you kind of like relive that through other people's eyes, and especially if you're reliving it now for your children's eyes through their first time. It is like going again for the first time.
Oh, definitely. And also the fact of beforehand maybe stayed in like a villa or kind of off site, staying on site for the first time, that on top also felt, in like a different experience.
So you had other family members with you as well this time?
So it was myself, Louise, 2 children, and then Louise's parents. So there was like 6 of us.
So could you call on them for like babysitting duties, like maybe if you wanted a few drinks around Disney Springs or whatever? Were they on standby for that?
Yeah, but we did. I think apart from the evening we went in with Magic Kingdom, I think we maybe had one evening where we went on the boat because we stayed in Port Orleans French Quarter, so you could get the boat up to Disney Springs. We did that on one evening, but other than that, the kids wanted to be kind of involved in everything. There was one night we went back to the fireworks, and we thought they might not be keen, but they were both really up for that and came again. So which is fantastic.
That's good. Is there anything you would do differently? Have you learned from like taking kids for the first time? You go, oh, next time, because there probably will be a next time. Would do this instead. Or was it? Did you have the perfect trip?
It's kind of, it sounds a bit cliche, but it kind of was because we were able to get on everything we kind of wanted to do because we did the different, obviously tried a lot of the different restaurants and things with them. But that was the big thing of staying on site. So I think, as I mentioned just now, we stayed at Port Orleans French Quarter. Louise, when she looked into it, thought that was a good one because it was a bit more quiet than some of the other resorts, and you had the link with kind of Disney Springs from that side of things.
From the boat,
with the dining plan, which we did the full one, so had the sit down element as well to it. We got a really good deal at the time we booked it, so we were experiencing a lot of those things with the kids straight away. I mean, by the end of it, we were a little bit character milled out,
but it's
with every single one possible.
As AJ said on the last podcast, great use of a dining credit. Do the character dining.
Oh, definitely. And the amount we saved money wise, because when we were getting the bills and having to sign them off, you'd see how much it would have been, and we hadn't paid that at all in terms. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, in terms of kind of overall.
Yeah, so free dining pays off, definitely. We'll talk more about food. If you've had the dining plan, you've obviously got a lot of places to eat. We'll talk about hotels and more attractions and stuff in your perfect day. But you did mention that you went to Hollywood Studios as part of an event. Was that the after hours?
Yes, it was. Yes, yeah.
So you just do the one at Hollywood Studios, or did you do any others as well?
No, we just did the one at Hollywood Studios.
How was that?
It was really good. Yeah, it was still fairly busy. So the wait times were shorter, but there was still quite a few people. It's surprising, but also you notice the difference when you got to around, getting near midnight, to be able to walk on some of the bits that seemed, Sunset Boulevard and so on, so quiet. That was really nice because you wouldn't normally get that experience. And I went on coaster like 3 times in a row, and we did Rise of Resistance. There was like literally just walk through. And you got things like ice creams and popcorn and drink free as well.
Did you take a bag with you to fill up all the bottles of water and cans of pop and stuff to take at the end of the night?
No, we didn't think of that. But funny enough, at the end, they were just literally just handing it to us. And we're like, we got a few extra.
You can't take the Mickey bars, obviously they'll be a bit gushy in the following morning, but like the bottles of water and stuff definitely pay off. Did all of you go to that? Because they do go quite late, don't they? Is it like 9 till midnight, or is it even 10 till 1? They're really late, aren't they?
I think one went to midnight, but no. So my Louise's mum stayed with the kids, and then it was myself, Louise, and her dad. Because I said that was our first time of going into in terms of all the Star Wars stuff as well.
And I'm guessing if the kids are not going to do the bigger rides, they're not going to do the Tower of Terror or Rock and Roller Coaster, and maybe even Slinky Dog, are they?
No, funny enough. So Slinky Dog has been my son's favourite character for years. Last year we tried to get someone to get the Slinky Dog ears. You couldn't get them in Florida. You could this year, so that was a surprise when we went. He'd been going on about the ride, watching the videos on YouTube for years, got there, and then he wouldn't go on it.
Chickened out the last minute.
So, it was just myself and Louise that ended up doing it. So
that's why I take the grandparents, Mark. They can stand for emergencies.
Yes. Well, we but on some of the things we were able to do rider swap still, which was quite handy. Freya, who's 4, would pretty much do everything she could for the height she is.
Oh, right, well. Fearless.
There's obviously certain things that she wouldn't, but she seems to love all the rides.
Back with our guest in just a moment. Let's do a quick update of news that's come from Walt Disney World over the last couple of weeks. Disney have released the full menus for the 2025 Epcot International Food and Wine Festival. A couple of weeks to go before it starts. August the 28th, making its debut at this year's festival, is a brand new Guardians of the Galaxy themed food booth, serving a variety of dumplings. I'm excited for this. Gyozas of the Galaxy will be launching at the Epcot Food and Wine Festival, as well as some returning favourites. There's a few new food items, but then you've got the cheddar cheese soup at Canada, which is back. And then we've got the fromage montage to get involved in the Food and Wine Festival. As always, making you eat hot cheese soup on an even hotter Florida day. There's not a lot of other big news that's come out over the last couple of weeks. It's been pretty quiet. Beak and Barrel, which is the new Pirates of the Caribbean lounge, will be opening very soon, actually, on the day after the Food and Wine Festival, actually, August the 29th, but you can book now. Good luck with that. Obviously, that's just like booking a normal restaurant 60 days ahead, but Beak and Barrel, which will serve booze at Magic Kingdom, yes. You're only allowed 2, though. It's 2 drinks maximum before you're out. The only other news story is The Little Mermaid. The brand new Little Mermaid show over at Disney's Hollywood Studios is now available to get a lightning lane if you want to make sure you get into that. It's a Tier 2 attraction. Any other news between now and the next episode in a couple of weeks, follow us on all the socials at Pod Magicals, where we are. Mark is with us on this episode of the podcast now. Mark's wife Louise was on about 4 or 5 years ago, and she did mention actually to me, Mark, that you were afraid of lifts. In fact, you wouldn't go. Was it? She questioned about whether you could go to Topolino's because it's quite high. Did you make it to Topolino's Terrace?
We did, yes. Yeah. So they've. I thought they were. I mean, everywhere has stairs in terms of kind of emergency exits. So yeah, I got stuck in a lift when I was really young for quite a while, so it's always put me off. There's times where I've been in them, whilst if I've been somewhere and not wanted to miss doing something like, I don't know, the Empire State Building or so on. So, but if I can, I'll avoid it. So, yeah, there was stairs. I think it was about the 10th floor, but it was good exercise with all the eating that you're kind of doing. And I mean, not that you're lacking exercise in Disney anyway, with the amount of steps you're doing on a kind of daily basis. But the stairs were there, and I got up there, and it was a good job because it was worth it.
Did the stairs to Topolino's Terrace. Well done. Well done. Other question is, did you do Tower of Terror?
Not this time. I've
But
done
you've
it.
done it before, even though you're afraid of lifts. I
I
mean, that's
know.
the most scary lift in the world.
I've done it quite a few times in the past.
Yeah.
Opportunity to do it was on that evening event. Louise and her dad did it about 3 times, and one of them they were in their own on it
Yeah.
as well.
So why didn't you do it?
So I kind of chickened out a little bit. It's the only ride that I didn't go on the whole time we were in Orlando in kind of any park. Well, unless there's the odd one we didn't do because of time, or
Yeah.
doing the certain ones that we knew we wouldn't this time. Didn't do Space Mountain because with the kids and things, obviously you can't do it all. But no, yeah. So then I think, oh, maybe I should have done it. But yeah, I think I have to be in the right frame of mind.
It's an excuse to go back and do it again, Mark.
Well, exactly. Yeah, I
You
mean,
need
yeah,
an excuse.
always need an excuse.
So you were on the dining plan. We know that you did Topolino's. Did you do breakfast, the character dining at Topolino's?
Yes, yeah. So that was really good. A lot of people talk about the steak and eggs, which they do there. That was fantastic. Even the potatoes that came with it, this cheese, it was really, really nice. And obviously the added bonus of obviously seeing some of the characters in that one as well.
What would you say out of how many? Do you know how many restaurants you did? Because were you there for 14 nights on site?
So we had 15 nights. We had 15 credits.
15 dining credits.
But we did 14 sit downs because we made the most of all of them, because we did one of the ones that took 2
Which one was
credits. Citricos.
Do you know, I've never been to Citricos. Would you recommend?
Yeah, it was really nice.
What would you have?
It was. I mean, I had a steak in there, which was fantastic.
Okay.
And for dessert, it was like these different flavored profiteroles. It was very smart in terms of how it came out on the plate. But yeah, that was nice. That was more so with Louise wanting to obviously show the kids that she obviously where she worked, and she knew it was nice from kind of working there. So that was more of a kind of a special one to do.
And did they behave themselves in a fancy restaurant? Were they good?
Yeah, they were actually. Yeah,
okay, well done.
A few challenges in some of the restaurants, but obviously when
it's Disney though, isn't it? So it doesn't really matter. Other people's kids are always more worse behaved than your own.
That's
look around. So, what would you say are the best restaurants that you went to? What were your favourites?
We always love Boma in Animal Kingdom Lodge. We've done that a couple times before anyway. When we went out in 2017, we were there for my birthday and went there on the day. I just love that. Like the choice of the food is so nice.
Incredible food.
The buffets are helpful a little bit more with the kids, which is why we say did a few of those. 1900 Park Fair, which is in Grand Floridian.
Yeah, not been there either.
So that is also a character kind of buffet. With a couple of different princesses. I think it was Aladdin as well.
Yeah, see, here's the thing with I love character dining when it's Mickey, Daisy, Donald, Goofy. But when it's like princes and princesses, I feel a bit awkward chatting to them. How was it? I never know what to say.
Yeah, I mean, I've never done, even when we've done character events before, it's always been, Mickey, the kind of usuals. So because with my daughter being so into like princesses now, this was the first time.
You have to, yeah.
That we did anything like that. So there was a couple in there, but no, it was good. Roundup Rodeo.
Yes.
Now, obviously, that's not
Hollywood
characters,
Studios.
but have you been there? I'm trying to
I loved it in there. And I played along when Andy comes in the room and everybody freezes because everybody joins in. It's really, and the food was great, I thought, in there as well.
Oh, the choice was brilliant. All the barbecue food, the amount of you got, and
so much food.
They could give you more of it if they need to, and then the desserts as well, which came in all these little like pots in terms of different style kind of desserts. Yeah, no, that was a big favourite of ours. Obviously, Topolino's. I mentioned Ohana's. We did like Tusker House. Did the fairly new steak one in the Contemporary.
Steakhouse 71.
There wasn't really. I don't think I'd say there was any that we didn't enjoy. If we were to go back again next week, you might want to try a few different ones because there is so much choice. We watch vlogs, hear different people say about, oh yeah, I forgot about that. Oh yeah, there's that one as
So
well.
much choice, isn't
Because
there?
there is so many. But there'll be a few like the ones I mentioned where we think, well, yeah, we definitely like to go back there. But it was also nice to sometimes have a sit down and be served, but also do the buffet thing for the convenience and the ease. In terms of the kids picking, what they wanted.
How did you organise it with your day? Because that's quite a big commitment, doing a sit-down restaurant pretty much every day of your trip. Did you space them out? Did you know what times to go? Thinking, oh, we'll have a
Yeah.
break of
So
the day here. And
Louise is, I mean, I'm organised and quite a planner, and Louise is a serious Disney planner, which I think is a great thing because, as much as it's great to kind of go with the flow, you also don't want to miss out on going to particular places, and you also want to put them in as much the best time as possible. So, for example, when we were in Animal Kingdom, we wanted to go to Tusker House for breakfast. So we're trying to time it to kind of go in, potentially do a rope drop and go on like Flight of Passage, which we did, try and sneak in another one and then have breakfast. So the planning was a massive part because we wanted to make the most of obviously, being able to go to these different places, and in terms of spreading, around in terms of when we were doing it as well.
if you went back and you're paying out of pocket, which restaurant would you go to first?
Gosh,
Which one deserves your dollar?
we do all like Boma, just because some of the choices for the kids as well.
And zebra domes.
Yeah.
Or zebra domes, sorry. Zebra domes if you're listening in America.
and potentially again the breakfast and Topolinos. That will probably be another one.
Would you ever consider staying anywhere else? Is any other properties that have caught your eye? Would you definitely be staying at Disney now you've done it?
It's one of those things where you say, oh, we'll do it once, and then you do it, and then you kind of get the bug. Louise has said, oh no, I want to stay off property now. For me, the part of Disney that I wasn't as clued up was all the different resorts. And because we visited quite a few, because the restaurants are in different ones, like Caribbean Beach was really nice, Riviera, obviously certain particular ones start to jump up in price as well. But the convenience of being on site, especially with, so we had a car for the first 5 days when we went in Disney, 5-6 days. Then we didn't have a car for when we stayed on site because the bus service was so good. Like, you were going to the bus stop right outside the hotel. Buses would come within 10 minutes, sometimes earlier. You're getting dropped right at the front of the park by the entrance. And even with leaving, we thought we left after the fireworks. We didn't rush out. We were just in the queue walking back and thought we could be waiting a while here. Got to the bus station for our hotel. We missed one because there's a bit of a queue. Another one came pretty much straight away because I think buses are using slightly different entrances in and out. We didn't even catch any traffic. So
yeah, they've got their own like roads in and out, haven't they? They're pretty zippy.
For certain kind of sectors in. So the convenience side for kind of staying on site was brilliant.
Where would you stay next time? Would you stay back at French Quarter?
We really liked it there. We had a room that happened to literally look right over the pool. We found that it wasn't, as I said, it wasn't overly busy. Location was good with kind of Disney Springs. The rooms had just been renovated as well. So that was the start of this year or last year.
Yeah.
So they were really nice. So I mean, there's that, but there's always that thing of, it would be good to try somewhere else. I mean, there is obviously hotels that are on the Skyliner. However, that's something I'm a bit. So we didn't go on the Skyliner.
Don't tell me you're afraid of cable cars, Mark, as well as lifts. You are, aren't you?
It's that thing of being stuck.
You've not been stuck in a cable car at some point, have you?
No, but I'm a bit so we didn't. We ruled out hotels that had the advantage of that.
All right.
But maybe in the future, it's something to think about. So,
I mean, you could really push the boat out and stay at like Boardwalk or the Yacht and Beach.
Well, you're
Old
true.
Swan and Dolphin are like, they're walkable to Epcot and Hollywood
That's right.
Studios.
Yeah.
So they cover the Skyliner without being on the Skyliner. So you get around it
I,
that way, Mike.
I think if money wasn't an object, I think the Grand Floridian
Well, yeah, it
has
wouldn't
been a
be
big
all.
one for Louise's family.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah. Or maybe
funny
Animal
enough,
Kingdom. Animal Kingdom would be a good one. That's
oh
the
yeah, that one as
cheaper
well.
end of the deluxe, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah. One day, maybe one day. Was there anything that you noticed that has now gone from Disney World, from like even from when you went back for the very first time? Something that you miss, thinking, "What's a shame that that's gone."
Because with my first time being, what was that 2007, so about 18 years ago. I suppose there's not like loads of big things that have gone since say I went from when I was a child. The backlog tour was really good. When they used to, do you remember? Did you ever do that?
Yeah, I remember doing that. Yeah,
Yeah, something like that was really good. I did like the Great Movie Ride, but I like Mickey and Minnie's more. As I said, that was kind of a bit of a wild card that I didn't know how much I was going to enjoy that and enjoy it as a family. That's probably the ride as a family went on that we kind of all enjoyed the most.
yeah, that's
I
the
guess
secret, isn't
the old system fast pass
it? Yeah.
it's a bit of a miss.
Did you use lightning lanes this time? Did you pay for any of those lightning lanes,
No,
or
I mean,
would you manage without?
yeah, there was a couple times, but no, overall, we tried to kind of manage around. We did it a little bit in Paris last year, and I don't really like to be paying more when we've already kind of
What you've already paid for,
paid.
yeah.
But also, sometimes there's a need for the odd one, just because of if there was the one opportunity where I was going to get to go on Guardians, which was one morning, we knew we had to kind of go for it as well.
Yeah.
In terms of the trip, it would have been different again if it was just myself and Louise or as adults, but obviously we were all revolving the trip around the kids, but still wanting to, when you're there, you still want to do some of these big ones that you've not done before.
Yeah.
So yeah, it does come in handy, on occasions like that.
And I think that being there for like 2 weeks is plenty of time to be able to do everything without having to pay your way on, and still kind of like just take your time rather than running from attraction and paying for it. Just take your time. Enjoy the parks as well in between.
Oh, definitely. One of the things, and I know a lot of people mention this, is sometimes just, sitting on Main Street and taking everything in,
Yeah.
and kind of people watching. And it's just all the little details around the parks as well. What makes Disney so great. One of the things that I love about it is all the details, the effort that goes into the theming. They had the flower and garden in Epcot, and some of the designs of things as well were just look fantastic. So that kind of part of it is as much as really all the rides and the shows and everything else as well.
Yeah. It's the park, isn't it? It's the theme park. Take it in the park. Do you have a particular favourite Disney World memory? It could be from the last trip, or it could be before you took the kids.
Yeah, I mean,
not that I'm pushing you. They're probably listening.
I guess there's two that stand out really. The first time ever seeing the castle, that's the iconic thing, that you see as you're younger. So kind of walking along Main Street, and as I think I mentioned, seeing that for the first time was quite a special moment. And yeah, also then kind of doing that repeat thing with the kids, or seeing their faces when, they meet Mickey and Minnie, or when Freya met some of the princesses, and just seeing their kind of enjoyment on it. So really, I guess the recent favorite memory is just the whole trip experience.
Yeah. So if I was to give you your perfect Disney World day, what would you do? Where would you spend it? Where would you stay? Where would you eat? What would you eat?
Right. So
this is your day as well, Mark. Don't worry about everybody else. This is your day.
Well, if I try and incorporate it, with the kids as well.
Okay, we'll bring them.
And also try and make it realistic as possible with the timing. So
yes, please.
I'm thinking stay at the Grand Floridian. We would then rope drop Animal Kingdom for Flight of Passage, Everest, and then Tusker House for breakfast.
Okay, yeah.
Then head over to Epcot for Guardians of the Galaxy and soaring, followed by with a wander around the World Showcase, maybe a few snacks and a couple drinks. So that's taken up to like middle, start of early afternoon. Magic Kingdom, quickly see the castle, maybe Lightning Lane, Tron, and some smaller rides for the kids. And then evening-wise to Hollywood Studios, Mickey and Minnie, into Roundup Rodeo for a dinner just before Fantasmic, which is one of my, I think that's fantastic. Fantastic show to kind of end the evening.
Fantastic.
So I still might be pushing it time-wise, but I tried hard to kind of, in my head, still
it's
make it just about possible.
Yeah. You started at Animal Kingdom, which always opens early, like 7:30, and you finished at Hollywood Studios. And if you've got that after-hours ticket, then that goes on till like midnight, 1 o'clock. So it's a long day. You can be knackered, but I'd say it's pretty achievable.
Exactly.
Any more trips being talked about then?
Well, we are possibly. So I'm 40 next year. So possibly.
You don't look it, Mark.
Oh, thank you. Possibly looking at Paris. I mean, we do really like that, and we drive. It's quite easy because I find the drive really easy, kind of going over. So possibly maybe March time, but then we're and ahhing, and then the whole Disney World thing's still in the back of your head. We price up other holidays, maybe going over to something like Spain, and think, well, actually, it's not that much, because we try and do so we do these big trips, but we try and also be smart with what we're spending, or we're taking snacks for the kids into the park, or our own water and things like that. So it's expensive, but trying to still limit other expenses with it. So I mean, I think we'd be, if I had to take a bet, I'd say we'd probably be back there again
for your 40th
next couple of years. Well, who knows? Watch this space.
Because it is like, I know what you mean. It's sometimes like, well, we could go to Paris for a long weekend, and then we could have a holiday in Spain. But then when you kind of look at how much you're spending on both of those trips, you go, well, if we push the boat out a little bit more, you talk yourself into it sometimes, I think, though, don't you?
Exactly.
Well, I do anyway.
and the temptation's always there. And we've listened to your podcast for the last kind of, so many years, where we've been going to Paris. It was strange this time listening to it on the build up to going
to Florida.
To Florida, because all the times we listened to it before, we're like, I just want to be there, and people talking about their favorite rides and places to eat, and it was fantastic to kind of get back there this year, and obviously be able to experience that with the children.
Yeah, and sometimes the wait, not going for 8 years just makes it even more exciting, because there are so many new things. I mean, even if you don't go now for a couple of years, like when you go back next time, there'll be all new things over where Rivers of America was. There'll be the new land over Animal Kingdom, where the Animation Courtyard and Monsters Inc. at Hollywood Studios. Constantly changing, isn't it?
Oh yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, no, exactly.
It's been great talking to you on this episode, Mark. It's been good to get you on. And love to Louise, previous guest. We'll have to listen back to both episodes now, and people can vote for their favourite. Mark, have a magical day.
And you. Thanks, Andy.
If you would like to join me on the podcast and talk all things Disney World, just give me a shout at PodMagical, wherever you're following me. Follow on everything on Instagram, on X, on Facebook. Just send me a message. We'll sort out a time. We'll get you on the podcast. Now, if you are going to be going to Walt Disney World over the next couple of weeks, well, firstly, this weekend is the start of Halloween. Yes, the first Halloween party at Magic Kingdom will be starting tonight, which does mean when there's a Halloween party on, there's no fireworks and nighttime parade at Magic Kingdom. The park will close early. So just remember that, because there are a lot of parties on, like sometimes 3 or 4 a week. It means when the fireworks are on, get very busy. American schools have gone back, so it might be a little bit of a quieter time to go, unless, of course, you're from Scotland, because our schools have gone back as well in Scotland. 2 weeks to go before the Food and Wine Festival at Epcot, as I mentioned earlier on. All the menus are out. Do you know, if you want some top tips for what to eat at the Food and Wine Festival, you're going to be going over a few weeks. Do both of these. Check out Disney Food Blog AJ was on the last episode of the podcast. But the podcast before AJ, we had Vegan Disney World on with Melissa. So check out Melissa for some plant-based dining tips for the Food and Wine Festival. You've got a couple of weeks before that one starts. Also talking about food, the Orlando Magical Dining offer is on. Now, this is on for a few weeks at select restaurants in all of Orlando, many of which are in Disney. Most of them down at Disney Springs. I know Summer House on the Lake is down on there, and a few others at Disney Springs, where you can get some set menus for a bit of a bargain price. Some of the money that they charge goes to some local charities in Orlando. So if you want to save yourself a few quid and get some 3-course meals at a little bit cheaper, check out Orlando Magical Dining offer. The links to that, I'll put all this over on our socials at Pod Magical. A couple of other things to let you know about. Pound to dollar is about 1.36. It seems to have picked up a little bit. The weather. Okay. We're into hurricane season now. Temperatures are going to be low 30s. We'll have afternoon storms, but we are keeping our eye on Tropical Storm Erin, which looks like it's developed into a hurricane. Now, at the time of recording this podcast, I don't know anymore. I don't know where it is going, but if you're going to be going over the next few days, we are in the hurricane season. I think this is the first hurricane of the season. So Tropical Storm Erin now looks like it's going to be a hurricane. Just keep an eye on that. And of course, anything else between now and the next podcast at Pod Magical on all the socials. Make sure you like and subscribe to the podcast. Please do share it as well if you're on any Disney World groups on Facebook or you've got friends who are going. If you could share the podcast, it just helps people find us. If you could give us 5-star reviews on Apple and Spotify and like it, that helps as well. A massive thank you if you've done that. A massive thank you for listening. And we'll be back in 2 weeks with more Disney World chat. Until then, please stand clear of the doors.